Whether you're trying to pursue an alternative career to clinical medicine or just trying to find something to do part-time creatively, medical writing is a great career opportunity. This video will be focused on what career opportunities there are for medical writing and how to apply for jobs as a medical writer. If you're a doctor working clinically in a hospital or clinic, you're probably already doing a bit of medical writing. If you're involved in research or writing up documents for the hospital protocols or processes, this requires medical writing. A lot of doctors actually do this already in their careers and would be a great fit naturally for this kind of role. So what is medical writing? Medical writing involves writing, editing, and reviewing medical, clinical, and scientific documents for the company. Medical writers are in high demand in companies such as healthcare startups or larger healthcare companies, such as within the pharma industry. One of the biggest benefits of being a medical writer, which would be a big reason for why doctors want to find alternative careers to clinical medicine, is that you can be a medical writer from literally anywhere. All you would need is you, a Wi-Fi connection, and your laptop. You can work remotely, and the hours for a medical writer is very flexible. This is definitely the draw of being a medical writer. You can literally do it from your home. I personally believe writing is done better at home anyway, because when we were working in the office, whenever I had to do any medical writing, it would be very difficult to do it at my desk because there were a lot of distractions and colleagues would come up to you or you'd want to talk to your colleagues. So I'd always have to find some corner in the office or some phone booth that was unoccupied so that I could have a private space without any distractions to write. So I think it's the perfect job to do at home without people interrupting you or distracting you from focused writing. Medical writing is a specialty, and like medicine, there are sub-specialties. Medical writing has become more specialized as there are different needs within the company for medical writers. And this includes regulatory, clinical research, and marketing and sales promotional material. As a medical writer, you would need an understanding of medical concepts and terminology, and of course, good writing skills. The medical information needs to be presented to suit the level of understanding of the target audience, whether that's other physicians, patients, key stakeholders, or regulatory bodies. I'll discuss the few subspecialties of medical writing here. I'll first start with regulatory. Every company that is selling a product or service needs to seek approval from the regulatory or governing body within those areas to sell or market their products there. For example, if you want to sell or market a product here in the United States, you would need to get FDA clearance for medical devices, digital health tools, drugs, and so on. And to get approval from these regulatory bodies, you need to submit a lot of information surrounding the product, how it will be used by patients, and how they will be used by clinicians, what the risks and benefits are, and a lot of details surrounding all of this information. You will need to collate clinical trial data and clinical information on the products. You will also need to write up clinical summaries and reports for these regulatory submissions. For marketing, the medical writer can create a lot of content around the product or service the company has developed. This could be in the form of promotional material that the company pushes out, or specific content such as blogging on the company's website. To support the sales team, the medical writer can also collaborate with the sales team on sales pitch decks. This is very important material because this is what they use to go out into the real world and sell the product or service. The medical writer can also create the educational material to train the sales force. The medical writer can also produce a lot of research-related content. This will require being heavily involved in the clinical research process, writing up research proposals and research protocols, and putting together study analyses and study reports that can be published in peer-reviewed journals. The medical writer is also heavily involved in a lot of the publications, and this can come in many forms: case studies, white papers, research articles, abstracts, and posters and presentations for scientific meetings and conferences. The medical writer can also be involved in applying for grants. Grant writing is a huge part of healthcare startups or companies that may not have as much funding or need funding for research. Research tends to be very expensive for the company, so any form of grants the company can bring in is very valuable. So here I've shared what medical writing is, what are the subspecialties of medical writing within a company. Now, how do you even apply for a medical writer position? First, understand that pharmaceutical companies, healthcare startups, contract research organizations, and healthcare consulting companies will need medical writers. So it's good to get a head start by looking into these type of companies to see if they have opportunities available for medical writers. The second thing you'll need to do is to upskill in writing. Take some classes on medical writing or gain experience in searching medical literature and presenting research data. Also, learn the publications process, because as a medical writer, to understand the publications process is very valuable to any company wanting to publish their research data. Third, update your CV or resume to reflect your writing experience. If you're applying for a medical writer position, the hiring manager is going to look at your writing experience specifically. The fourth thing I would suggest is to have a portfolio of some of your writing material. Maybe you've published a research article, and maybe you've done some blog post or some creative writing. Put your best work in a portfolio and share that with your hiring manager. I think it's great to have things listed on your CV, but to actually be able to see your work can give companies a better idea of who you are as a writer. And those are my tips for finding a position as a medical writer. If you can grab the company's attention on how your writing can highlight their company's products and services, you've got your foot in the door. Having that medical background, understanding of medical concepts and terminology make you very valuable. Remember, when you're applying to jobs, you're also selling yourself, not just your skills. And I truly believe that doctors can have very successful careers outside of clinical medicine, and there are so many opportunities out there other than clinical medicine for doctors to contribute in a meaningful and valuable way. So don't be afraid to try new things, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and I hope that I have been able to help you in some way in finding other opportunities outside of clinical medicine, in tech, or wherever you want. If you found it valuable and if you want more content like this, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach me on my Instagram at drleemd. Of course, if you have any ideas on what I should talk about next, please let me know in the comments below. Stay healthy, happy, and safe, everyone. Bye!